This episode of Poultry Beginners Podcast, your one-stop shop for practical ideas and solutions for poultry farmers. My name is Subirio Bogo. I'm the founder of Kike Farm. Today I'm going to discuss protein sources of animal feeds. Here is a short quiz for which I will share the answer at the end. The quiz is: which one of the following is not a source of protein for making animal feeds, including poultry? A. Cottonseed cake. B. Sunflower cake. C. Soybean cake. D. Cassava. Or E. Fish meal. So as I mentioned before, productivity in birds depends on several factors such as genetics, the quality and the quantity of the feeds, the health status, what you call feed conversion efficiency, and of course managing practices that prevent immunosuppression. Talk about immunosuppression, talk about either infectious causes such as Newcastle, Gumboro, or Marex, as well as environmental factors such as excessive heat. So these are some of the things that affect productivity. So in this episode, we'll be discussing feeds. So the five main nutrients for animal feeds, including poultry, are carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals, as well as water. The term macronutrients refers to carbohydrates, protein, fats and oils, and then micronutrients refers to things like vitamins and minerals. They are called micro because they are required in small quantities. However, just because they are required in small quantities doesn't mean that they are not important. The immune function of all poultry depends on these minerals, and one way to increase efficiency is by ensuring you have adequate amount of the vitamins and minerals. The plant sources of the protein sources of animal protein can either be from plants or from animals. Now, plant sources include things like soybean meal, sunflower cake, cottonseed. Then animals, things like fish meal, blood meal, or even the black soldier fly. Proteins are important for building muscles, tissue, things like muscles, nerves, feathers, beak, as well as cartilage. Proteins are usually composed of simpler units called amino acids, which are also called the building blocks of proteins, and they're about 23 in number. However, about 11 amino acids are called essential, and that's because the animal cannot synthesize these amino acids, and they must be included in the diet, that is when you're making the feeds. So this is a very important point to remember. So when we talk about the quality of protein feeds in animals, usually it's measured in terms of the essential amino acids, the 11 I did mention, whether they're there, and what you call the crude protein it supplies. If you look at this table here, it shows you some of these parameters. This here is the crude protein, this level here. So for example, soybean seeds have about 37% protein, and then things like sunflower cake is about 29. So that tells you the level of quality. So if you bought, for example, somebody is selling new soybean cake, and then you test the crude protein and you find it's 10, that tells you most likely it's a fake or it's an adulterated product. So it must be something above 35. So methionine and lysine are usually the two specified in the nutrition feed tables. So in other words, if you take your chick mash, gross mash, or layers mash and take it to a lab for testing, one of the parameters they'll give you is methionine and lysine. So if these two are adequate, it tells that all the other 11 essential amino acids are also adequate. Remember that although proteins can also provide energy, you can see here metabolized energy. This first column you see here, you also get energy from protein. Usually we prefer to use carbohydrates and fats for energy because proteins are very expensive, and also they take a lot of energy to digest. So in summary, plant sources of animal proteins are either come as a meal or a cake after oil has been extracted. So for example, soybeans, we extract the soybean oil then what remains is called the kernel, the meal. That's what you use for making animal feeds. Now compared to the rest, soybean meal are very high in protein. I said up to 44%, and also they also have the essential amino acids. So that's why soybean is really ideal for mixing with things like maize or sorghum or other cereal-based products. The quality of feed protein is described in terms of essential amino acids. I said in particular lysine and methionine, as well as the total crude protein it supplies. Animal-based protein diets produce better growth and hatchability compared to plant-based, and that is why if you're making feeds, at least one of your sources of protein must be animal. So it's something like fish meal. I also always include at least one animal protein. The 11 amino acids are essential because they cannot be made by the body and must be included in the diet. In the nutrient table, to measure the essential amino acid, we normally just look at methionine and lysine. If these two are adequate, it tells you all the other amino acids are essential. So back to our quiz, it was asking which one of the following is not a source of protein. The answer is cassava. Cassava usually, together things like maize, sorghum and millet, are source of carbohydrates or energy. The rest will give you protein. Now for more information, you can get a copy of my book. It's available. We can just ship it to you on request. It has all the information you need about rearing chicken. This podcast was brought to you by Kike Farm. My name is Subiri Obogo. I'm a medical doctor and specialist in public health medicine. You can support us by subscribing to my YouTube channel, and the link of which I will put below there. Until next time, bye bye.